I never imagined that a simple question about my plans for the weekend would turn into the kind of argument that would ruin the whole evening. But that's what happened last night. It started when Mom asked me what I was doing on Saturday. She always wants to know, like it's some kind of checklist to make sure I'm staying on track. I wasn't in the mood for one of her lectures, but I tried to keep it casual. I'm just hanging out with some friends, I said. Maybe catch a movie or something. And then, of course, it escalated. Dad, who had been quietly reading the paper at the kitchen table, put it down and looked at me. "You still hanging out with that crowd?" he asked, his voice carrying more weight than I'd expected. There was a little judgment there, maybe more than I was used to. I felt my pulse spike. "Yeah, I'm still friends with them. What's the problem? Are they really the kind of people you should be spending your time with?" He leaned forward, eyebrows furrowed. "I'm just saying, you need to be careful. Not everyone is going to help you get ahead in life." It was the same old lecture I'd heard 100 times. Every time I hung out with my friends, he said the same thing. I was sick of it. So I snapped. "Oh, here we go again," I muttered. "You always act like I'm wasting my time. Like I'm supposed to be some perfect little robot who's just studying and working all the time. Maybe I want to have fun. You ever think of that?" Mom chimed in, trying to calm things down. "You know your dad's just looking out for you. He wants the best for you." I didn't want her to get involved. I know that, but I'm not a kid anymore. I don't need to be micromanaged. I'm figuring things out. You're not the ones who have to live my life. My words were coming out too fast now, and I knew I was getting too defensive, but it felt like everything I said was just being turned against me. Dad didn't let up. "You don't have to like it, but you need to be smart about how you spend your time. You're not a teenager anymore. You've got responsibilities." That was it. Something in me snapped. I stood up from the table, feeling my heart pound in my chest. I know what my responsibilities are, okay? Maybe I'm not doing everything exactly how you want me to, but I'm not stupid. I'm not going to screw up my life just because I'm not living up to your expectations. The silence that followed felt so thick, I could barely breathe. Mom looked at me, her face full of that look I hated, the one that made me feel like I'd disappointed her, no matter how hard I tried to explain. Dad was quiet too, but I could see his jaw clenched. It was like the air was thick with everything we hadn't said to each other. I walked out of the kitchen, not looking back. I could hear Mom trying to apologize, but I wasn't in the mood to listen. I couldn't remember the last time we'd had a real conversation without it turning into a fight. I didn't know what they wanted from me anymore. I was so tired of feeling like nothing I did was ever enough. I went to my room and shut the door, but I could still hear them talking downstairs. Mom asking Dad if she'd said the wrong thing. Dad saying something about me being too sensitive, the usual. I just laid there in the dark, feeling empty. I loved my parents, I really did, but sometimes I couldn't help feeling like I was suffocating under their constant expectations. I wasn't living up to what they wanted, and no matter how hard I tried, it felt like I never would.